Going. Let's get YouTube situated. We got to get the YouTubers on board. All right, YouTube on Facebook and over here we got Instagram. All right, everybody's good. Just give me a thumbs up if you could hear me. If you hear me good, I want to make sure we are good to go with audio. I need to know if we're good to go with audio. All right. Blessings, Whitney. You hear me loud and clear? You hear me loud and clear? All right, good. Just let me know if you could hear me. I know you can see me because I could see myself over here on my Facebook screen. Hey, Michael, what's going on, brother? just uh, just let me know if you guys could hear me. All right, I want to know if you could hear me. We're gonna talk about estrogen tonight. We're discussing estrogen. Okay, and we're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram and on Facebook. All right. Okay. Loud and clear. Thank you, Whitney. Awesome. All right. So as always, it's always really awesome to be with you. You know that. Always awesome, and it's one of those privileges that I can't take for granted to be here with you and to share the good news of holistic health. All right, to share the good news of holistic health. But before I get started, I just want to make sure everybody's good, your families are great, and everybody's in good health. All right. So as always, I am not a doctor or a medical professional. I am a herbalist, a holistic health educator, and a researcher. I do not prescribe any type of medicine. Okay. I don't dispense medical advice, and I don't diagnose or treat medical conditions. What I do is provide information and education from the perspective of traditional herbalism. All right, that's what I do. Okay, and since I'm on my disclaimer here, I just want you guys to also know that when it comes to the herbs that I am discussing, the herbs that I will be talking about, the herbs that that are being evaluated, those statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. All right. So these herbal products that I'm talking about, they are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All right. Just want to get that out of the way. All right. So shout out to you if you were here with me tonight. And let's get started. We're going to talk about estrogen. We're going to dive deep. We are going to dive deep into estrogen. Okay. So, what is estrogen? It is a category. Estrogen is a category of sex hormone responsible for the development and regulation of the female reproductive system and secondary sex characteristics. Okay. And estrogen is not only a female related hormone or female related, right? Hormone. That's what it is. It's also in men. Us men, that's a hormone we also make. Okay, and we'll get into that. Okay, so there are three major endogenous or internal estrogens that have estrogenic hormonal activity. Estrogenic hormonal activity. There are three major internal estrogens. All right, three of them. And we are going to take a look and learn about all three. Okay. Instagram, how y'all doing over there? Everybody's good? All right. Give me a shout out, Instagram. I need to know you're live and you're kicking and everything's well. Okay. Okay. The first one is estroni. Estroni. All right. The second one is estradiol. And the third one is estriol. Estroni, estradiol, and estriol. Those three, okay, those are three major endogenous estrogens. All right. So when you hear about estrogen, you want to, estrogen itself is a category. It's not just singular. It's a category of sex hormones. Okay. And those three, we're gonna take a look at those three and figure out how they work within the female reproductive system and what roles they have to play in both male and female. Okay. And they are endogenous, and in biology, endogenous is the growing or originating from within an organism. Okay. First one, estroni. So unlike the other two, estroni comes from the ovaries. Estroni come from the ovaries. Okay. As well as the adipose tissue and the adrenal glands. And those adrenal glands, as we know, sit right on top of your kidneys. They sit right on top of your kidneys, and they produce adrenaline. Okay. So estrone comes from the ovaries, and it is considered the weaker estrogen, the weaker of the three estrogens, commonly found in higher quantities in postmenopausal women. So because it is less powerful than the other estrogens, estrone can sometimes serve as what we call a repository for estrogens, and the body can convert it to estrogen when needed. Okay? So, women, for our sisters who have too little, too little estrogen hormones, including estrone, they may develop osteoporosis. All right. And low estrogen levels can also cause the symptoms of menopause, including hot flashes, fatigue, poor sex drive, and also depression. And for the sisters who are postmenopausal and who are still struggling with the symptoms, low estrogen levels may be that reason. Maybe that reason. And the other one we'll look at is estradiol. Estradiol. Estradiol is the strongest of the three estrogens, and it is a very important player in the female reproductive system, and it is the most common type for women of childbearing age. Estradiol, the strongest of the three estrogens. That one, estradiol, is made or produced primarily in the ovaries, and it has several functions in the female body. Several functions in the female body, but its main function is to mature and then maintain the reproductive system. That's its main function. So during, sisters, during your menstrual cycle, increased estradiol levels cause the maturation and release of the egg, as well as the thickening of the uterus lining to allow a fertilized egg to implant. See, there's a lot going on. A whole lot is going on. We don't really know. We don't get to see those things. But there is a whole lot of processes that are happening. Okay, but as our sisters age, okay, the levels decline. Okay, and it decreases significantly during menopause. Okay, and that is one of the reasons why when a sister reaches menopause, or when a sister is experiencing menopause, there are low levels of energy. There is fatigue. All right. There is sleeplessness. There is nausea. There are like so many different symptoms when it comes to menopause. Okay. So in men, fellas, in us, the proper levels of estradiol help with bone maintenance. Helps with bone maintenance. It helps with nitric oxide production and brain function, right? And nitric oxide generally help to strengthen, guys. That's for us. It's, nitric oxide generally help to strengthen our erections and improve our sexual function. You understand that? So regular exercise also plays a huge role in producing more nitric oxide, fellas, that we need to maintain that erection and improve our sexual function. And you guys know I am big on exercising. When I tell you to exercise, when I ask you to exercise, when I remind you to exercise, it is not just for show. It really is to help your your health, help with your health. Both sisters and men, not, the exercise part is for everyone. Okay. It's really to help you as far as your health is concerned. Okay, so exercise raises nitric oxide levels, and how it does that, it boosts your blood flow and it reduces inflammation. It boosts your blood flow and it reduces inflammation, and that helps you out. Now, fellas, how do we improve, or how do we get more nitric oxide in our body naturally without turning to synthesized drugs to get it? Beets, beet juice, pomegranate juice, cocoa, right? That cocoa tea, that cocoa tea, the natural cocoa tea. I'm not talking about chocolate that you go buy, at the store, the candy chocolate. I ain't talking about that stuff. I'm talking about cocoa that I had 2 big cups of this morning. I was including my breakfast. Watermelon, leafy green smoothies, red wine. These are all great natural sources of nitric acid, or nitric oxide, rather, not acid, but nitric oxide. Okay. But here's the thing though, pay attention. Men need lower levels than women. We need lower levels than women. Women need more. But we still, fellas, we still require this important hormone to function well. We don't need a whole lot of it. The sisters need more. And we'll dive into it and find out why. Okay, the reason why the sisters need more. And while the sisters need more than us fellas, too much, too much estradiol has been linked to acne on your face, acne, too much, constipation, loss of sex drive, and depression. See, too much. It needs to be balanced. It has to be at a level where we call it the Goldilocks level. It needs to be just bam right there, leveled out. Too much estradiol, estrogen, has been linked to acne, constipation, loss of sex drive, and depression. Okay? And in sisters, if estradiol levels are extremely high, the risk of breast cancer or uterine cancer, as well as cardiovascular disease, can increase. Okay, it is important for us to remember that too much estrogen, especially estradiol, estrogen, even if your sisters need more than us, but if your levels are extremely high, the risk of uterine and breast cancer, as well as cardiovascular disease, can increase. Okay, so we want to be careful of how much we take. Now, guys, for us, if we take too much estradiol, estrogen, or if we make too much, it can lead to the development of female characteristics and loss of sexual function or muscle tone. I'm going to let you pick up on those cues. Now, if your body does not have enough estradiol, bone growth and development are slowed. Bone growth and development are slowed. So too little is bad for you. Too much can harm you. And if you don't get enough estradiol, or if your body does not make enough estradiol, you can develop osteoporosis, okay, or bone weakness. Your bone is going to become fragile and it can break, and you can really end up in a whole lot of trouble. Okay, so before we move to the third one, let me give a shout out to the folks that are on. Whitney Benjamin, blessed love. How are you? Michael, greetings, greetings. Montex, greetings. Petra Carbon, greetings. Ama Thomas, good night, good evening, bonsoir, sagafet. Hope you guys are doing good. Okay, and for my folks over there, Sanjo Empress on Instagram, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Okay, and on YouTube, I'm live on YouTube as well. And you guys could follow me on YouTube. My handle is Indigenous Bushman. You search for me on YouTube, Indigenous Bushman. You find me on YouTube, and subscribe to my channel. Let's take a look at the third, estrogen, estriol. Estriol is produced in significant amounts during pregnancy. However, it is not as potent as estradiol. It is not as potent as estradiol. Estradiol is 80 times more potent than estriol. Okay. Now, estriol is the least potent of the estrogens, or it's labeled as E3. Okay. And estriol levels are traditionally used clinically to gauge the viability of pregnancies and is least likely to be associated with high estrogen problems, for instance, breast cancer. Now, estrogen, it regulates the growth, it regulates development and the physiology rather, of the human reproductive system. Growth, development, and physiology of the human reproductive system. It also influences neuroendocrine, skeletal, adipose, and cardiovascular systems. And adipose is its main role is to serve as an energy storing reservoir. Adipose, but it also insulates the body from from it. Okay. And it's insulates the body from extreme temperatures, and it cushions vital organs. It cushions the vital organs, and it secretes hormones and biological factors. That's adipose. It's an energy storing reservoir. Okay. And estrogen is a very important sex hormone. It is produced again primarily by the ovaries in females, and in men it is produced in the testes. All right, so let me see here. I've been wanting to share the screen here with you all. So let's see. Let's see if Facebook will allow me to share my screen. I want to show you guys something. Hopefully Facebook lets me do it. I wanted to share a few screens with you. Um, I've been having issues with Zoom connecting to Facebook because it's so much easier to share it. All right, let's go from here. Let's see if we can do it from here. Nope. Okay. I would have really loved to share the screen, guys. Let's see. A couple of screens I wanted to share with you. All righty. So we're gonna pass on that for now, but I really wanted you guys to see at least four of my slides. All right, and the first one is I don't want to hold back the progress you're looking for sharing the screen, but we'll figure this out another time. Okay, and these four slides, the first one is talking about the importance of estrogen. The importance of estrogen. Let's see. I want to share this. I really do want to share this. Let's see. It's easier on Zoom, but Zoom doesn't want to let me do this. Nah. Okay. Let's go. I'll figure this out for next time. Okay, so the importance of estrogen. It helps bring about the physical changes that turn a girl into a woman. And this time of life is called puberty, right? Puberty. And some of those changes include growth of the breasts, growth of pubic and underarm hair, all right? The start of menstrual cycle. It helps control the menstrual cycle and important for childbearing. In women and men, estrogen helps to control sexual desire, erectile function, lipid metabolism. You know what that is, right? Fat metabolism, lipid, to help metabolize fat. Brain function, bone health, skin health. Okay. And estrogen is one of the main sex hormones that controls the menstrual cycle. Its levels change throughout the month. I really wanted to share this next four slides with you guys, man. Okay, they are highest in the middle of your menstrual cycle and lowest during your period. Estrogen helps, or estrogen levels drop at menopause. When you get to menopause of age, when menopause sets in, estrogen levels drop. So, with that said, let's take a look at the lows of estrogen. Okay, we're going to take a look at the lows of estrogen for women. The most common reason for low estrogen in women is menopause or surgical removal of the ovaries, or both. Okay, the most common, most, and some of the symptoms of low estrogen include menstrual periods that are less frequent or that stop, hot flashes, okay, hot flashes, trouble sleeping, vaginal dryness and thinning. There is less mucus in the vagina. It takes more time to get wet and slimaceous. It's supposed to be slimaceous. And some sisters get what we call menstrual migraine, which is a very bad headache right before the period comes because of the drop in estrogen. And for men, low estrogen in men can cause excess belly fat and low sexual desire. What's up, Sanjo and Press? You got a joke, man. You got a joke. Yeah, we gotta laugh. We gotta be lively. We need to laugh more, right? Now, let's look at the highs of estrogen. Let's look at the highs of estrogen for women, our sisters. All right. Excess estrogen can lead to these problems, among others. Weight gain, mainly in your waist and your hips and your thighs. It does not mean that every one of you will experience that or all of the symptoms or all of these problems. There's going to be or might be menstrual problems such as light or heavy bleeding, premenstrual syndrome, fibrocystic breasts, and those are non-cancerous breast lumps, okay? Fibroids in the uterus, uterine fibroids, and those are non-cancerous tumors. Mood swings, feeling depressed or anxious, breast swelling and tenderness, low sexual desire, and fatigue. Okay, now, men, the highs of estrogen for us, listen well for the guys on board, all the fellas on board. Okay, for you fellas on board, let's go here. All right, make sure I could see. Fellas, high estrogen levels, dry skin, erectile dysfunction, ED, loss of sex drive. You have no desire or very little desire for sexual intercourse. Infertility. If you could have sexual intercourse, but you are not able to produce sperm strong enough to have children. Poor erections. It will stand up and it will die. It will just go down. Poor erections. And enlarged breasts, which is gynecomastia. Gynecomastia. Too much estrogen. That's why Herbalists always warn against eating too much soybean because soybeans have phytoestrogens that mimic estrogen. And when you eat too much soy products, it most likely is going to cause for both men and women those problems that I just mentioned. So fellas with those man boobs, that's gynecomastia, sorry, gynecomastia, and large breast. Okay, so everything in moderation. Everything has to be leveled out. The hormones need to be leveled. You can't have too little, and you should not have too much either, because estrogen helps protect the heart. Estrogen helps protect your heart from disease, and it does so by maintaining higher levels of good cholesterol, which is HDL, in your blood. Okay, it maintains higher levels of HDL in your blood. It helps protect your heart. It helps mainly with the reproductive system. However, it helps almost every organ system. Those three estrogens. Now we talked about. And it protects your heart by keeping cardiovascular tissue healthy, which in turn helps protect against heart attack by preventing inflammation that contributes to the buildup of plaque or coronary arteries or in your coronary arteries. Estrogen also protects your brain. Estrogen also protects your brain. And how does it do that? By facilitating higher cognitive function, by exerting effects on brain regions such as the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus. And the prefrontal cortex is where we process moment to moment input from our surroundings. Moment to moment input from our surroundings. And it compares that input to past experiences and then it reacts to them. It reacts to them, to those experiences. Okay? And the hippocampus is involved in long term memory formation and memory retrieval. It is responsible for turning short term memory into long term memory, the hippocampus. And it also plays a role in spatial memory, which allows individuals to keep track of where objects are. That's your spatial memory. Okay, so you guys kind of see some of the connections there, right? Because some sisters with menopause, they will pick up an object, will put it down and say, all right, I know this is here. 2 minutes later, like, where did I put it? Fellas, it happens to us too, right? Not just the sisters, but with menopause, it's kind of crucial. Okay, that's kind of where you just don't readily remember where you lay something down a minute ago. Okay, so your spatial memory allows you to keep track of where objects are. And sometimes with some of the one of the symptoms of menopause is also when sisters you walk in and you just bump into a wall. You know the wall is there, but you just didn't see it. You just bump into it. Okay. So your spatial memory is responsible for that. Where objects are, okay? And that is also included the position of your body relative to the surrounding objects, the objects around you. Okay, because you bump into stuff. You knew it's there, but you bump into it. So estrogen directly affects the structure and the function of other musculoskeletal tissues such as muscle, tendon, and ligament. Estrogen is important. It's not only for sex. It is not only for sexually related, excuse me, function. Okay, musculoskeletal tissues like your muscles, your tendon, and your ligaments. Okay, because the role that estrogen has to play in those musculoskeletal tissues is to improve muscle mass and strength and increase the collagen content of connective tissues. Okay. Now, estrogen could also increase the levels of serotonin and dopamine, mhm, leading to an improvement in mood. The serotonin and dopamine, they play a role in how you feel in your mood. Now, we mentioned phytoestrogens a few minutes ago that is found in soybeans that mimic estrogen. Okay, so phytoestrogens are found in plants. Okay, they're found in plants that weakly mimic the ability of endogenous estrogens, and they do so by attaching to the site receptors. So now, for sisters who are trying to naturally increase estrogen, okay, they normally or usually or often turn to plant field estrogens for relief. And some fruits that are highly contained with estrogen, Michi said everything leads to low sexual desires. It depends. If it's too low and it's too high, it has to be balanced. It needs to be at a good level. All right, Michi. I get you. I totally get you. Not everything, but if it's unbalanced, and as we get older, Michi, the sexual drive kind of drops. So we have to kind of be aware of that and do the things or some of the things that need to be done to keep that level. Okay, especially for us guys, we really have to be there for the sisters. We got to meet them because they're always ready. You know what I mean? So, all right. So, some fruits, sisters, with good phytoestrogens. Fruits like cherries, apples, and papaya, pomegranates, plums, strawberries, peaches, tomatoes. Okay, and to me, berries in general, all the berries are pretty good Because in my early days of training martial arts, one thing my instructor always told me, hey man, if you're running out of energy, you got to do a lot of berries. Like just get some berries and toss it in a blender, put some plant milk in there and blend it up, make a smoothie. That's going to give you a nice boost of energy. Okay, nice boost of energy. Never forget that. Many, many years ago. Okay, so fruits. All right, cherries, apples, papaya, ripe papayas, pomegranate, plums. Okay, strawberries, tomatoes, peaches, and we have whole grain foods like barley and oats and wheat and brown rice. So now brown rice, there is a bit of controversy when it comes to brown rice. Okay, and I have to actually look more into this because one doctor I was listening to, he talked about the hull of the rice, which is the brown outer shell, contains some plant chemical that actually causes um, diabetes, or causes, when you eat it a lot, and when you eat too much rice what happens, right? So he was basically saying that the white rice within the kernel is really better because the outer shell is really what has all that crap that gets you sick. But that was his opinion. All right, not mine, his opinion. I was listening to it. I was like, wait a minute, I got to check into this because it just doesn't sound right. Okay. Now, vegetables like sprouts, eggplants, celery. Amma been tearing down those celeries, man. Juicing celery like crazy. Good for you, Amma. Parsley too. I've been following her with her juicing regimen. She's been using a lot of celery and parsley. Okay, carrots, alfalfa. All right, and legume like lentils, black eyed peas, garbanzo beans, split peas. And of course, we can't forget nuts and seeds like sesame seed, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, almonds, and walnuts. Okay, and these vitamins and minerals are claimed to help raise estrogen levels naturally. And many of these also help prevent adrenal fatigue, which can further disrupt overall hormonal balance. All right. And the first one is vitamin C. So important. And again, it's a water soluble vitamin. Our body does not actually produce vitamin C. So we have to get it from external sources like kiwis and oranges and cantaloupes and lima beans and bell peppers and cooking peppers. And then we need carotene like spinach and kale and peppers again and turnip greens and cabbage and pumpkins, collards, basil, squash. All right. And couscous. Couscous. Eat a lot of couscous. It's loaded with iron. So many minerals in couscous and watercress. Watercress. Also, B complex. You could get your B complex from Brazil nuts, potatoes, avocados, legume, like we just talked about a minute ago, tuna, beets, bananas, oats, vitamin A, dark leafy greens, lettuce, dried apricots, bell peppers, bay leaf, yes, bay leaf, vitamin A, and winter squash. And of course, you got to have vitamin E. You got to have your vitamin E. Okay. Hi, Lynn Peters. How are you? Jewel, that's all you heard. But everything I have said tonight, you heard the S word. Yeah, it's spinach. That S word is spinach. We're talking about estrogen. Okay. And as always, I am not a doctor or a medical professional. I'm an herbalist, a holistic health educator, and a researcher. I do not prescribe medicine. Okay. I do not diagnose or treat any type of disease. I'm a herbalist. Okay. We also need zinc. We do need zinc. A legume like lentils, right? Dark chocolate, that cocoa tea that we love so much. Man, I got this big cup. You guys have seen my big cup that I posted with, with tea in it. I have an oversized big cup. And my 7-year-old grandson, he would describe it as a gigantic. He would say, Grandpa, this is a gigantic cup. I had 2 cups of cocoa tea this morning with coconut milk, loaded with zinc. That's all my zinc for today. Not all of it, but most of it, because I had pumpkin seeds too, and garlic. A lot of zinc in garlic, spinach. All right. So while exercise, I'm going to go back to exercise for a minute. While exercise does promote the whole body wellness, all right, for our sisters who are trying to increase estrogen levels naturally with routine exercises, should do so in moderation. You don't have to exercise every day for 2 and 3 hours and be in the gym. It is not necessary. It really is not necessary to do that. So there is a condition called, it is an exercise condition. It is called exercise induced amenorrhea, 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 exercise induced amenorrhea. And that occurs when excessive exercise causes decreased estrogen levels. And that is why I said that it is really unnecessary to exercise every day for hours at end. I'm a martial artist. I can tell you, you exercise too much, you are going to get tired. Your body is going to let you down because it could only take this much. It is really unnecessary to exercise every day for periods of time, long periods of time. It really is. You're going to get fatigue, amenorrhea. Okay, and that could lead to decreased estrogen levels. Okay, because you're putting too much pressure on your muscles. Okay, what could help increase estrogen levels is moderate strength training exercises. Just moderate, about 20-30 minutes a day, a few days a week, maybe up to 5 days a week. Okay, and that by itself will help you maintain good ideal body weight and fat percentage of at least 17%. That is what the experts are telling us, percentage wise. Okay, you could include walking, you could include jogging, dancing, playing tennis, a little weightlifting. Okay, so in the we're gonna go over an hour tonight, but I'm good with that. If you guys could hang in there, because we have a few more um, points to make. Yeah, Mitchie, if you're looking to build muscles, then you gotta take a lot of protein, okay? And you are going to have to exercise more than 30 minutes a day. However, you still don't need, there's no need to do it every single day. You know what I mean? That's the point. And trust me, you can exercise 30 minutes a day if you're looking to build muscles. And you can accomplish that. You could really accomplish that. But you have to go hard. It can't be moderate at this level if you're looking to build muscles. Okay. So in the keynote address at the North American Menopause Society, they have the annual meeting in San Diego. Elisa Apple, physical doctor, she's also a researcher and professor in the Department of Psychiatry at the University of California in San Francisco. She addresses this question and reports on the research she's conducted to understand why women might have a better chance at a long life from a cellular level. At a cellular level. Okay, and her research looks particularly at the effects of sex hormones and estrogen on health, telomere health, as well as the influence of reproductive health and mental health. And telomeres are the end caps of DNA strand, the end cap of DNA strands that protect chromosomes. All right, and they are longer from birth in females than they are in males. Okay, so researchers have long been a while now since they understood that telomeres are vitally important to healthy longevity. Telomeres are vitally important to healthy longevity, and for women, those end caps of DNA strands that protect chromosomes are longer. Okay, and researchers rather have also known that women have an advantage over men because of the telomeric length. Okay, so when telomeres are worn away, the result is damage to your DNA. Damaged DNA is shorter, and shorter DNA cuts years off your longevity. Okay, so now, what is a telomere? A telomere is a region of repetitive DNA sequences at the end of a chromosome. And those telomeres, they protect the end of chromosomes from becoming frayed or tangled. That's their job. That's what they do. All right. So each time a cell is divided, the telomeres become slightly shorter, and eventually they become so short that the cell can no longer divide successfully, and the cell dies. The cell dies. Now, estrogen ushers out bad cholesterol, LDL, in the body. It ushers out bad cholesterol. That means it helps protect against cardiovascular disease and other cholesterol related ailments. And Dr. Joanne V. Pinkerton, NCMP, and she's the executive director of NAMS. She says that estrogen also boosts good cholesterol, or HDL, and relaxes, and it smooths, and it dilates blood vessels. And when your blood vessels are dilated, when they're relaxed, when they're dilated and they're relaxed and they're smooth, guess what happens? Your blood flow increases. The flow of blood increases. And it decreases high blood pressure in the whole process. And cholesterol too. Your cholesterol levels are going to be good if your blood is flowing the way it should. And in addition, estrogen acts as an antioxidant. So, where free radicals can damage DNA, including telomeres, estrogen acts as a barrier. Estrogen acts as a barrier in this instant, protecting the delicate DNA strands from deterioration. But here is the thing though, not DNA, but estrogen cannot always protect telomeres from damage because those telomeres, they can lose length, which reduces longevity because of stress or chronic or childhood psychological adversity, such as abuse. Plus, we have to factor in, advancing age, which adds additional stress to the body and DNA, which can reduce telomeric length. But with age, sometimes telomeres cannot protect chromosomes properly, and then the cells are not replenished and they don't function well, which can lead to increased risks of heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and weakening of the immune system, Dr. Pinkerton says. Okay? Without Jefferson, how are you, my brother? All right, so this is the end of the broadcast tonight. But before I leave, I want to remind you that next month, October, we are starting holistic. You guys still there? We are starting holistic classes. Okay. Herbal classes. We are starting next week. So drop me a line. Let me put my email in here. If you are interested in learning herbal knowledge and applications, the same way I learn. And here is my email. It is bushmanherbsandthings@gmail.com. Just send me an email. Let me know if you are interested, or you can just state your interest here in the comment section. Okay. And for YouTube, here's my email. My YouTube viewers, it is Bushman Herbs and Things at gmail.com. Okay. So for my YouTubers, And also for the Instagram folks, here you go for Instagram. Okay. And we will be starting October. So if you're interested, let me know. You will learn the same way I learned. I learned a lot from my mom, and then and of course I am studying. Do a lot of research, and I am studying as well to complement all the knowledge and wisdom that I've acquired from my mom. Okay, so let me know, and I will send you the initial set of details, and then once you show your interest, we will send you more information, additional information on how to sign up and what is expected of me, what is expected of you. All right. And as always, guys, don't forget your health is your responsibility. Stay healthy, stay strong. Don't be bothered with people's opinion of you. You got to do you, be yourself, and that's it. You got to be you. Okay, you have to be you. Don't let people's opinions sway you from your mission. You have a mission, and you have things to do in life. Do it your way because each person is different. Right? People are gonna be wondering like, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with her? Why they look this way? Why is blah 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 and this and that? Okay, don't even bother with that. just just do you. Just live your life. Okay. Don't forget your life is your health is your responsibility, and so is your life. All right. I will see you guys next week, Monday, and hopefully I come Saturday to do a short live. All right. And I'm always going to be in touch. All right. Take care, guys. Have a great one. Greetings. Bye. See ya. Yes. And share. Share it. Greetings. Bye bye. Ah. Okay. Greetings. Bye. Okay. Where is my YouTube? I got to end the stream here on YouTube.